So have you wondered if your baby has an outie or an innie umbilicus and if that's an issue? Well, this is Dr. Beatty, Newborn Prep Academy, and today we're going to be talking about an outie or an innie, which is basically some terms used for what your baby's umbilicus looks like. So the umbilicus is the area that's left in the area in your on your baby's belly where the umbilical cord was attached when he or she was in utero in the belly. And after the baby has been born and the umbilicus is cut because it's not needed anymore, what's left over is the umbilical stump, and that usually falls off. So that's like a little bit of umbilical cord that's left after the main part has been cut off. And that part usually ends up falling off somewhere between 1 to 3 weeks. And at the end of the day, the area heals and you have an umbilicus, which for most people ends up being a depression in that area of the belly, right in the middle of the belly, and is called an innie as a term. But in some cases, that may actually be a bump instead of a depression. And that's what's typically called an outie in just local parlance. Now, does it matter if your baby has an outie or an umbilicus that sticks out? Well, it depends. Most times, sometimes it may not be anything but just a cosmetic issue. So just the way the umbilical area looks is just a little bump in the area and no issues at all. However, if your baby does have an outie, one of the couple of things could be going on, and one of them is an umbilical hernia. Right? And a hernia or an umbilical hernia is when there is a gap or a space in the abdominal wall where that area over the umbilicus is not completely covered. And so it's covered by skin, but underneath the skin, it should also be covered by the abdominal wall muscle. And if there's a space in that area where the umbilicus is, there might be, again, a hernia or an area through which contents in the abdominal wall could come through that hole. For most babies that have an umbilical hernia, it's usually very small, maybe a couple inches wide, and that typically will close up on its own. Somewhere between a few months to 18 to 24 months. In most cases, if it's not closed by 2 years, we will refer you to a pediatric surgeon to take a look at it because it might be something that has to be closed surgically. Now, there are other reasons why it may need to be closed early. If it's very large, if there are issues with what's called incarceration, where contents of the abdominal wall come through and get stuck in there, those are dangerous conditions. And usually, your baby will show you signs that there's something wrong. They'll be very fussy, they'll be crying, the area may look very swollen, tender, may just look bluish and darkish, and your baby's just very fussy. It may also have a fever, depending on what's going on. So if anything worries you about the way your baby's umbilical cord area looks and they're not acting right, you should get them seen right away, okay? However, if it's just a bump and baby looks fine, is doing okay, that can be evaluated by your pediatrician or your provider who takes care of your baby. And they can typically tell if this is umbilical hernia and if it's something that needs to just be observed for now or something that needs to be referred right away to a pediatric surgeon. The other thing that can also cause an outie at times is what's called an umbilical granuloma, which is where you have extra tissue that hasn't completely dried or healed up when the umbilical cord falls off. And so it's very pink, wet tissue right in the umbilical cord area, in the umbilicus, around the umbilicus. And that can also kind of give you an appearance of an outie, especially if it heals later on and just have that extra tissue lying there. So again, if your baby has an outie, may not necessarily be an issue. You should get it checked out with your pediatrician to make sure it's not a hernia or an umbilical granuloma that needs to be taken care of. And otherwise may just be something that needs to be observed. So I hope that helps. And again, this is Dr. Beatty of the Newborn Prep Academy. Would love to be able to be of support to help you along your journey as you take care of your newborn or expect your newborn. That's what we exist to do here at the Newborn Prep Academy, is to help you understand what to expect from your newborn and to help you care for them confidently so that you can truly enjoy your time with your baby. Wherever you're watching this video, there's going to be links for resources. I have a free resource guides, how to choose a pediatrician, the right pediatrician for your baby, and also the Confident New Mom guide. All those free resources can be found wherever you're watching this, as well as my premium course, the newborn preparation course, which is a 4-module course that goes over everything you need to know that is essential to being confident to receive your newborn and care for them confidently. All right, till next time, thank you for watching.